Anywhere around the world and here in Nigeria, this is Nationwide on the NTA. I'm Ayodeji Makinde. We'll begin by telling you that President Tinubu has demonstrated his understanding of importance of quality infrastructure to national development. The president says his administration will continue to invest in infrastructure to stimulate general growth of the country. President Bola Tinubu said this as he inaugurated the arterial road N16, connecting the Shehu Shagari Way with the Wole Soyinka Way, Jahi in Abuja. Status correspondent Musbao Danwahab's reports will come in a subsequent bulletin. Moving on, First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has launched an initiative to promote homemade gardens, encouraging self-sufficiency and greener homes. The program, implemented in Yola by the wife of the Adamawa State Governor, Lami Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, is to support the First Lady's call to action for sustainable home gardening practices in the country. Simon Asha reports.
The program, Every Home is a Garden, an initiative of the First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu, is designed to encourage women to be more productive through home gardening. While launching the phase 1 of the program in Yola, wife of the Adamawa State Governor, Lami Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, says the concept is to encourage women to nurture and cultivate their own garden, regardless of the size or location, because of the benefits that are abound in it.
We will tell the whole that gardening in the home is very, very necessary.
When you have your garden, you have a natural food, and natural food is always good. And even then, economically, you are subsidizing everything because you have them in the house.
I feel very happy. I feel elated.
The wife of the governor, Lami Ahmadu Umaru Fintiri, added that the idea will not only serve as a source of income through sales of excess produce, but will always guarantee fresh food for personal consumption.
It begins with a single seed and a willing heart to inspire households across Nigeria to grow what they eat and eat what they grow. To empower women, youth, and families to become producers, not just consumers.
Cash prizes were presented to women who earlier had participated actively in the program. In Yola, Simon Asha, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu felicitates Alhaji Ahmadu Adamu Muazu, former governor of Bauchi State and former chairman of the People's Democratic Party, on his 70th birthday. President Tinubu describes Alhaji Muazu as an accomplished public servant and frontline politician who has remained relevant in the strength of character and dignified comportment, recalling that when they were governors the same time between 1999 and 2007, the president says it was a trying period for new beginning and that as governor of Bauchi State, his tenure was known for implementing various developmental projects and initiatives that made a remarkable difference in Bauchi State. President Tinubu equally recalls that when the celebrant was the national chairman of the People's Democratic Party between 2014 and 2015, though his party lost the 2015 presidential election to the APC, he placed democratic values and the strengthening of political institutions in the country above party interests. President Tinubu wishes him many years laden with peace, good health, and continued dedication to the common good of the country. Studies have shown that majority of people with serious legal challenges that pose concerns to them in Nigeria are usually in the middle to lower income brackets, emphasizing the challenges they face in obtaining justice. However, the dispute resolution situation is getting better, as observed in a new survey which is on justice needs and satisfaction for Nigeria. Correspondent Olabode Arewa reports.
Multi-ethnic societies in Africa have historically had recurring issues like land disputes and domestic violence, leading to bad blood among disputing parties, who try to resolve the disputes by approaching the legal system. Institutional barriers to quick justice dispensation being a recurring decimal, The new survey report, compiled by the Hague Institute of Innovation of Law, along with its Nigerian partners, shows that community-centered mechanisms dispute resolution are yielding positive results.
It is important that people benefit from the laws because they are put there for them in the first place.
The formal legal sector must validate what comes out from the informal. So you take a land dispute, the traditional ruler does it without the validation of the formal sector. When the next generation comes up, the fight starts again.
Direct negotiations were identified as a key instrument for the people-centered justice delivery, and experts observed that continuing with it would help communities to resolve the myriad of legal challenges being faced by those in the lower income brackets, who are perceived to be the segment that have more cases of unresolved legal problems. Olabode Arewa, NTA News.
Now, in Abuja, Ogun State, Traditional Administration of Justice, known as Egba Complaints Committee, sitting at the palace of the Alake of Egba land, is regarded as the High Court of Jurisprudence in offences adjudicating on all disputes emanating from communities and towns across the Egba Kingdom. In this report, Yemi Dalimo examines the modus operandi and acceptability of verdicts delivered by the committee.
The Egba Kingdom is made up of 140 towns spread across 6 local government areas in Ogun Central Senatorial District. Each of the towns has a traditional head who is either a first or second class Oba or Bale. Egba customs and traditions make it mandatory for the Obas and Bales, especially the elders known as Ogboni, a fraternal institution, to assist any reigning Alake of Egba land in the administration of justice and good governance in the kingdom. The elders are known as Baba Idire. Despite the high level of literacy among the Egba people, majority of them still embrace Idire. Egba's Complaints Committee, a traditional method of conflict resolution operational in Ake's Palace.
Judgment is fast, more than court. I love it. It's a traditional way of judgment.
It's one of the best, something that I think we will ever have in Egba land. So I really cherish them. No matter how the case is, they will make sure they settle it amicably.
The advantage here is that we deal with culture and tradition here. And following that, we settle the matter.
It is interesting to note that the Egbas are proud of this committee and willingly brings matter before them for adjudication and amicable resolution in Abeokuta. Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
Yemi Dalimo in Abeokuta will give us more on the preference of this traditional court. Yemi, this sounds interesting. It seems like an age-long institution, but fill us more on the advantages of this committee in the administration of justice and good governance in Egba land.
Right here at the Idire in Ake Palace, where the 30 elders are sitting to adjudicate on matters that are brought before them by members of the community. One thing that is very interesting about this place is the fact that members of the committee are 30 in numbers. They are professionals in their various fields of endeavors. We have engineers among them, we have doctors, we have judges, we have lawyers, we have journalists, we have so many of them, even farmers and others who have meritoriously served the nation and have retired. They are the members of that Egba traditional Egba Complaints Committee. So when they bring matters before them, the experience of these people are brought to bear in adjudicating on the matters. One thing that is very important is to say that before a member of the Egba, indigenous of Egba land bring their matter here, they will ask them if the case is before the conventional court and to know whether to sit on it or not. If the case is before a court, they will not entertain the matter. If the case is not before the court, that is when they will entertain the matter. They will actually go beyond listening to the cases that matters that are presented before them. They will constitute committees to investigate all matters that are brought before them independently, without the knowledge of the litigants that brought the matters. And this is what they will now come back and sit down and carry out research and also give judgments where necessary. One thing is the fact that judgments that are given by this Egba Traditional Complaint Committee are actually very sound, fair, and unbiased. And if the litigants are saying that after after they've come here, they want to take the matter to court, they are free to do that. But when the matter gets to court, the judgment that will be given in court also tallies with what is given here at the Idiere. Members of this committee, they go a lot. The cases that are brought here are very fast compared to when we go to court, because after listening to the matter, about 2-3 weeks we have the judgments that are given, and people are actually attesting to the fact that the cases here are fast, and they like the judgments that are given here compared to when they go to court. When they go to court, they will have to listen, try so many things in court.
Well, Yemi, thanks so much for that insightful contribution, and eye-opener indeed for the efficiency of that system there in Egba land. Egba, to the rest of the world, they love to say. Thanks once again. Back here, let's tell you that Nigeria has made a strong call for the prompt ratification of the Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction BBNJ agreements, and a significant increase in funding for blue economy initiatives to ensure the protection and sustainable use of the world's oceans. Delivering Nigeria's national statement on behalf of President Bola Tinubu at the ongoing United Nations Ocean Conference in Nice, France, the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Adegboyega Oyetola, emphasized that urgent and collective global action is needed to secure the health of the oceans for future generations.
On behalf of Nigeria, I want us all to take bold, urgent action to protect our oceans and prioritize SDG 14 for the sake of our future generations. But they must be backed by political will, scientific rigor, and global cooperation. Nigeria remains committed to working with all ocean stakeholders to advance shared ocean priorities, and can call on every state to join us on this vital effort. Nigeria supports the adoption of the draft Nice Ocean Action Declaration and Plan to accelerate collective action on SDG 14.
The minister highlighted several domestic initiatives that Nigeria is implementing to strengthen its ocean governance, which includes, but not limited to, the adoption of a national blue economy policy aimed at incentivizing sustainable diversification into ocean-based industries, the development of a national roadmap for BBNJ treaty ratification and implementation, as well as a revision of Nigeria's national biodiversity strategy and action plan to align with global biodiversity targets. The 68th United Nations Commission for Africa CAF meeting is underway in Nigeria, focusing on innovation, artificial intelligence and creative industries in tourism. Gufan Shaji Ugwanyi reports that Vice President Kashim Shettima emphasized tourism's significance in economic diversification, citing its potential to create jobs, generate revenue and promote cultural exchange.
It has the potential to enhance local entrepreneurship and community development by supporting small businesses such as tour operators, local artisans, hospitality providers and service industries. Tourism creates new opportunities for entrepreneurship.
This year's theme, boosting social impact and education and tourism through AI, innovation and creative industries, underscores this point. But the future of African posterity depends on how boldly we harness our culture, creativity, and technology to empower people.
Meeting is very important. Let's talk, let's discuss, let's argue sometimes about food and make Africa a nice showcase for everyone.
But they should see the sector not about entertainment alone. They should see the sector as a sector that can provide development, employment generation, revenue generation, and enhance the social consequity of our nation.
As Africa's tourism industry recovers and grows, the 68th CAF Conference serves as a platform for shaping the future of tourism, highlighting the importance of innovative strategies in unlocking the sector's potential. Nationwide continues in our Lagos Network Center with Awal.
DG, foremost chartered accountant and former vice president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, Haruna Nma Yahya, has emerged president of ICAN. Bolaji Akim reports that the investiture of the 61st ICAN president was witnessed by personalities within and outside the country, including traditional rulers.
The change of button signifies a new sheriff in town. In the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, ICAN, the chairman of the Governing Council and 61st president of ICAN, Haruna Nma Yahya, will run the affairs of the professional body for the next 12 months. In his acceptance speech, the new president expressed his determination to hit the ground running with 10 strategic objectives that will further expand the scope of the professional organization.
To bring ICAN to our stakeholders, particularly the Gen Zs, and also have more visibility in policy of this nation and international. So we want to bring ICAN to the forefront so that it will be reckoned with based on the standards set by our founding fathers.
Building on the legacies of the founding fathers, which includes unity of purpose and selfless services, no doubt will be an additional impetus for the new president.
The newly elected president will do his utmost best to actually promote the activities of ICAN worldwide, not even in Nigeria, worldwide, inshallah.
So I've advised him to carry his deputy along. It gives for harmony. So when two persons take a decision on a matter, it's better than when one person takes it.
The ceremony was followed by a post-investiture dinner where guests were treated to the classic hospitality of ICAN and the unveiling of the 68th anniversary logo. A graduate from Bayero University, Kano State, and an ICAN fellow, Haruna Yahya, was born in 1962 in Bida, Niger State. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
Did you know that waste collectors and managers are equally adding value to the well-being of Nigerians through pre-health services? Diana Ajale interacted with some of them who gathered to celebrate President Bola Tinubu's reformative program on waste management in Lagos State during his tenure as governor, a legacy which has been sustained since 1999.
Lagos was at some point tagged one of the dirtiest states in Nigeria. In 1999, however, a strategic approach to waste management helped to change this narrative. Today, it may not be 100% clean, but it is one of the states making remarkable efforts in that direction. Initiatives by President Bola Tinubu when he was governor of Lagos State led to the introduction of clean tech innovative policy, sustainable energy access projects, circular economy programs, and holistic approach to waste management.
Under the military, fire brigade approach, no policy not whatsoever, but the policy which introduced brings system into the whole thing.
National President, Association of Waste Managers of Nigeria, Olubenga Adebola, speaks further.
We work with them to take away all the mountains of waste and enjoying house-to-house waste collection, and he popularized the PSP model.
That the general people are aware of the effects and the impact of waste managers, especially in Lagos State and some states of the Confederation.
The private sector participation, PSP, is a scheme where the Lagos State Waste Management Authority partners with private companies to collect and transport solid waste. Meanwhile, one thing that caught my attention at the Olusonshu dump site is the fact that the environment is well maintained. Restructuring of the Olusonshu dump site, for instance, is a story of continuity in waste management efforts in Lagos. This conference is a platform for the Association of Waste Managers of Nigeria to honor its grand patron, President Bola Tinubu, for impact made. In Lagos, Diana Ajale, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Lagos. Nationwide continues in Ibadan after this timeout. Don't go away.
Welcome to Ibadan. A state-of-the-art ICT park has been inaugurated at the University of Ibadan, Oyo State. This is to drive the national digital economy policy and strategy of the renewed hope agenda of President Bola Tinubu. The official handing over of the ICT facility was by the Vice Chairman, Nigerian Communications Commission, NCC, Aminu Maida, facilitators of the project. Wasiu Rauf has the details.
Represented the Nigerian Communications Commission's boss noted that establishing the ICT park within the University of Ibadan will serve as a launch pad for pioneering ideas, as well as a catalyst for Africa's digital transformation for homegrown technological solutions and instrumental in driving the transformation of the nation's economy. The facility also put in place to facilitate the integration of emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, internet, among others.
It gives us opportunity to bring out our best, translate it to meaningful, innovative ideas and solutions that will benefit the entire population.
While pledging to maintain the ICT park, the Vice Chancellor, University of Ibadan, acknowledged its values to the university community, describing it as a beacon of progress and catalyst for innovation, as well as a resource center for developing and deploying digital solutions to critical societal needs.
One of the things that we need at this time is the digital technology and all the facilities to be able to start that, to be able to move forward, not only to impact staff and students, but also particularly, those that the society is already provided.
The ICT park features a 100-seater main hall, 5 dedicated ICT hub halls, a 24-seater lounge with 8 dual computer workstations, multiple chaired workspace, and administrative office. The facility is one of the 6 flagship digital infrastructure projects strategically established by the Commission in selected institutions across the country. In Ibadan, Wasiu Rauf, NTA News.
Nigeria Customs Service says it will continue to leverage information technology to enhance its operations and meet international best practices. The Customs Controller General Bashir Adeniyi stated this during a working visit to Oyo Osun Area Command. Lukman Hassan has the details.
The Customs Controller General Bashir Adeniyi explained that the Customs Service will begin to use excise stamps to monitor and track products by manufacturers to eliminate fake and counterfeit products. The Customs Controller General noted that with the advancement in technology, Nigeria is not left behind, as they are working on adapting a home-developed software to be deployed for use in all its commands to deter smugglers and smuggling activities. The Customs boasts, while noting the dying stride of the service to rid the nation of smuggling of arms and drugs, said that of recent, over 200 containers of fake, expired and unlicensed drugs were destroyed in collaboration with Office of the National Security Advisor, NAFDAC and NDLEA.
Excise stamps that so for both the owners of the brand, it will facilitate brand enforcement. For us in customs, it will help us to protect revenue and check that everything that is produced is accounted for.
The Oyo Osun Area Controller appealed for more operational vehicles and manpower to enhance the work of the command.
These achievements are a testament to the tireless dedication, diligence, and professionalism of the officers and men of the Oyo Osun Area Command. However, the command continues to face some operational challenges.
The Customs Controller General met with some management staff of Nigerian Railway Corporation to collaborate on ways to prevent the train stations from being used to smuggle in arms, drugs, and other customs goods. In Ibadan, Lukman Hassan, NTA News.
That does it from Ibadan. Ayodeji, it's back to you.
Thanks so much, Kemi. Inside a quiet conference hall in Abuja, The hum of conversation carries a sense of purpose, all gathered for one mission: to strengthen the foundation of Nigeria's basic education system. Hosted by the Universal Basic Education Commission, it is a 3-day nationwide training for quality assurance and officers across zonal directors and directors of quality assurance from states' Universal Basic Education Boards, SUBEBs, in the 36 states and the FCT. The mission is to equip frontline officers with practical tools to monitor, evaluate and improve the learning environments in schools using modern evaluation techniques, digital data collection and inclusive education practices.
Remain current with evolving standards and policies and the corresponding tools to achieve success.
In a rapidly evolving educational landscape, ability to innovate and uphold quality standards in the discharge of our duties is paramount and should not be compromised.
At the end of the training, we will improve on our service delivery in our states for the effective monitoring of our schools and also to improve the performance of our quality assurance officers down to the SUBEB level and also to the LGS level.
By the end of the training, I'll go back a more better person because I believe that the training will capacitate us to embrace the new trend in quality assurance activities.
As the training continues, participants are expected to develop a joint action plan that will be implemented across states. The goal is to ensure that quality, not just quantity, defines Nigeria's basic education system. In line with the digitalization policy of the federal government, the entire civil and public service will go paperless by 31st December this year. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, DD Esther Walson-Jack, made this known at a World Press Briefing ahead of the 2025 Civil Service Week and the International Civil Service Conference scheduled for the 20th to the 28th of June in Abuja. Haman Jabani has the details.
The first ever International Civil Service Conference is said to be a major highlight of the 2025 Civil Service Week, aims at fast-tracking much-needed transformation in the nation's civil service. With the theme, Rejuvenate, Innovate and Accelerate, the conference will feature renowned speakers from Asia, Europe and Africa.
Lead a world-class civil service that delivers and accelerates national development. And so with that vision in mind, we opted to begin to engage with civil service leaders and civil servants from across Nigeria and across the globe.
The event will also serve as a reflection of Nigeria's deep commitment to institutional renewal, human capital development, and the ongoing drive towards a 21st century civil service.
The 2025 Civil Service Week, a significant event in our calendar, will feature a series of spiritually enriching, intellectually engaging, and socially rewarding events designed to celebrate excellence in the public service, reflect on reforms, and promote a unified vision for a stronger civil service.
Responding to questions from journalists, head of the civil service affirmed that the performance management system is on course and digitization effort across the civil service is yielding results, including war rooms and various online platforms. She commended the media for their continued support in recent months and called for sustainable collaboration and partnership to help inform and engage the Nigerian public effectively. Haman Jabani, NTA News.
And from Abuja, we go over to the seat of Caliphate, and Sadia has an next set of reports.
A large-scale animal sacrifice exercise has brought relief to thousands of underprivileged residents in Sokoto State as a Turkish humanitarian organization partnered with the state government to distribute meat during the Eid al-Kabir celebration. During an interface with the visiting delegation, Sokoto State Deputy Governor Idris Muhammad Gobir pledged sustained collaboration with the humanitarian associations led by Mr. Seld Chukchuk. Elata Abdullahi takes it from here.
Although 4,000 animals were initially targeted for the sacrifice, a total of 3,000 cows and camels were slaughtered due to challenges in accessing 1,000 sacrificial animals. The meat was distributed to underprivileged to enable them celebrate Eid al-Kabir and foster a sense of inclusion within the community. The leader of the delegation, Mr. Sel Torchok, reaffirmed the association's commitment to sustain its humanitarian support to the people of Sokoto State. He further briefed the deputy governor on a new initiative by the association aimed at promoting secular and literacy education. The program, set to commence in September 2025, is expected to benefit thousands of indigent children in the state.
Our children, they need education. We have to give education to them. About 150 children, almost they complete their education. Inshallah, we will send them to Turkey, they will graduate, and they will continue to teach in our school.
The Deputy Governor Idris Muhammad Gobir commended the association for its humanitarian gesture, saying the intervention brought joy and relief to many underprivileged in the society.
You have given a lot of an opportunity to the privileged ones. The government is proud to associate with you, and the government is ever ready to key in anything that can bring development of Muslim Ummah.
The chairman, Sokoto State Zakat and Endowment Commission, Malam Muhammad Laul Maidoki, expresses satisfaction with the security and safety measures provided by the Sokoto State government throughout the meat-sharing exercise. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has thrown his weight behind the ongoing fight against corruption, describing it as a necessary step for national development and projecting good image of the country among the global community. He gave the assurance while receiving the Resident Commissioner of the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission for Sokoto and Kebbi State, Mr. Shintema Binga. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu reports.
Corruption poses significant challenges to Nigeria's development, affecting various sectors such as governance, economy, and public service, and addressing it requires a multifaceted approach. The Sultan of Sokoto, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, stresses commitment of traditional rulers to support the anti-corruption crusade. The monarch attributes the persistent failure in Nigeria to achieve stable electricity despite significant investments to entrench corruption practices in the system. The Sultan emphasized the need for the commission itself to maintain integrity, stating that only a clean agency can effectively fight corruption. He urged Nigerian leaders to lead by example through honesty, sincerity, and accountability in all their dealings.
To fight corruption, that's a very big task, because I kept on saying it publicly, I don't know at what point in our lives in Nigeria that we have become so greedy and amassing so much wealth that we can never ever sponsor, even if we live 1 million years.
The ICPC resident commissioner in charge of Sokoto and Kebbi State, Mr. Shintema Binga, stated that their visit was to seek support and prayers of the Sultanate Council. He reaffirms the commission's commitment to rooting out corruption and restoring integrity in public service.
We are here to plead that His Eminence will continue to support the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission in the fight against corruption.
The visit underscores the growing collaboration between anti-graft agencies and traditional institutions in the fight against corruption in Nigeria. From Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
And those are the news update from here. It's now time for our second break. Makodi is up next.
It's Makudi and you are welcome. I'm Charles Haba. The Benue State government says it remains committed to the welfare of internally displaced persons and vulnerable groups in the state. Executive Secretary, State Emergency Management Agency, James Yopu, re-emphasized this during the monthly distribution of food and non-food items. Blessing Omeche Ebute has details.
The humanitarian situation occasioned by the farmer header crisis has left thousands of persons displaced from their various communities. To address some of these pressing needs, the state government and relevant stakeholders have continued to provide interventions in key areas. One of such interventions is the monthly distribution of food and non-food items by the State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA. Executive Secretary of SEMA, who doubles as Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, James Yopu, during the distribution exercise, appreciated the efforts of the United Nations, the International Organization for Migration, and other stakeholders for their continuous effort.
To our IDPs, please be assured that your cries are not gone unheard. Gonalia remains fully committed to your safety return and dignified resettlement. As an agency, saddled with the responsibility of responding to your challenges, we are working around the clock to facilitate this process within a short possible time.
He adds that the state government is in collaboration with the federal government through the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction to support the resettlement and empowerment of displaced persons in the state. In Makurdi, Blessing Omeche Ebute, NTA News.
Meanwhile, humanitarian agencies have pledged to support Benue State in tackling crises to ensure that internally displaced persons return to their ancestral homes. They stated this during a visit the governor has sent earlier at the government house, Makurdi. Here are the details. It was a visit by representatives of the United Nations for Refugees and Internally Displaced Persons, development partners, non-governmental organizations, the civil society organizations, and others. They empathized with the state government over the numerous humanitarian disasters being faced in the state and commended Governor Hassan Talia for deploying result-oriented measures in tackling them. The partners also disclosed their intention to do an independent study to draw global attention to the humanitarian crisis in Nigeria with focus on Benue State.
And we are also working with the private sector to create a zero collateral, low interest loan for agri-farmers, agri-businesses and other businesses that are set up here.
We will jointly go out there, mobilize resources, and see what we can do differently. It's not an easy task. It's very challenging.
Governor Hassan Talia, who appreciated the support of various partners to the state, especially lauded the UN for its interventions.
Its support has further strengthened our internally displaced persons coordination and the provision of humanitarian assistance, in addition to enabling us to commence the implementation of the durable solution plan.
He maintained that more strategies and plans are being made to quell emerging crises in various communities of the state. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News. That report rounds off our contribution from Makurdi. Ayodeji is back to you.
Thanks so much, Charles, in Makurdi. The Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, has stressed the need for effective collaboration with the Nigerian Army in sensitizing the public on the critical role of the civilian population in sharing intelligence in the fight against banditry in the country. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the Director General of the NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, stated this during a visit by the Acting Director, Nigerian Army Public Relations, Lieutenant Colonel Apollonia Aneli, to the NTA headquarters in Abuja.
The Nigerian Army has for decades been conducting internal security operations in different parts of the country. This is to safeguard lives and property, paving way for socio-economic development. To enhance these operations, the citizens need to understand the operations and activities of the Army to also facilitate the provision of intelligence report from the grassroots. This informs the visit of the Acting Director, Army Public Relations to NTA on possible areas of collaboration.
The essence of visiting you today is just to seek ways to collaborate with you. NTA is our own national TV, so whatever we do as a military, we deem it fit that it should be propagated through your medium, being a credible one, then seek for ways that we could better collaborate, tell our own stories.
This request falls in line with NTA mandate, and for the Director General, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, represented by the Executive Director News, Ayo Adewoyi, NTA will leverage its wide reach to sensitize the civilian population on their role in fighting the common enemy of the nation.
There has always been that conflict of trust between the media and the security operatives. When we have better understanding, we'll do it better. For us in the NTA, that is what we are established to do. Trust and the ability to protect the national integrity, that is what we are. We study the situation. We put national interest first in whatever we do.
Lieutenant Colonel Apollina Anele, the first female Nigerian Army Public Relations Officer, was appointed on the 22nd April 2025. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Elsewhere, Nigerians have been encouraged to be deliberate about using their talents impacting lives even after retirement from active service. The pioneer executive secretary of the Nigeria Christian Pilgrims Commission, NCPC, John Kennedy Okpara, was speaking at a courtesy visit to its headquarters in Abuja. Omenka Amarachuku reports.
Thank you. How are you?
Yeah. The popular saying that good name is better than riches is a maxim that many have come to identify with. The cleric at this event described how Nigerians could leave an indelible mark in the sands of time.
Today, I have come and I could see the glory of God back again. My brother, the new AS, Bishop Adebite, have shown with the chairman, Monsignor Gotan, have shown friendship, love, leadership.
The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, Stephen Adebite, called on Nigerians to cultivate the habit of honoring whom honor is due while still alive.
Let us build Nigeria together. This is one of the person building Nigeria. So why can we not encourage our own and celebrate our own? I am proud to know him. I am proud of him. And I pray that the good Lord will continue to bless him.
Omenka Amarachuku, NTA News.
The premises of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Yenagoa, is wearing a new look, especially at night, as the station has been captured to benefit from the NDDC Light Up Niger Delta program. This is courtesy of the benevolent of Ekeki, the host community. Correspondent Gifts Ogbe brings us details.
The delivery was made possible through the collaborative efforts of the management of the station and the Keke community to add to the ongoing moves by management to enhance the aesthetics and environment condition of the station, even as management is still scouting for a stable electricity supply needed in any broadcasting outfits for a 24-hour transmission.
The essence of this light is for security purposes, so that is why we deem it fit to also reach out to the province of NT. And this is also a federal parasata. So they are also benefiting from the impact of the NDDC.
General Manager NTA Yenegua, Madam Dauju White, expressed gratitude to the NDDC for the support and emphasized the importance of such initiatives in fostering development and sustainability in Bayelsa State.
What we've been praying for, and like the Bible says, let there be light. I cannot but thank the CDC chairman, Ekeki community, for being instrumental, and particularly NDDC for counting NTA Yenegua worthy for this gesture.
The gesture is seen as a step forward in the fight against insecurity and a move towards embracing greener technology in the region. In Yenegua, Gift Ogbe, NTA News.
Well, experts in the sports sector are brainstorming ahead of Nigeria's participation at the 2028 Los Angeles Games. Details of these and more with Ijoma Peter Wante on our sports news.
The leaderships of the Nigeria Olympic Committee and the National Sports Commission have held strategic meeting with Sports Federation to achieve the best results in the forthcoming international sporting events, including the Islamic Games in Riyadh, the Youth Games in Angola, the School Games in Algeria, Youth Olympic Games, as well as the Los Angeles 2028.
So they have to align to the vision of what we are trying to do. In line with the mandate Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has given us.
Following the election of ex-Nigerian athlete Fatima Yusuf as Nawi's representative into the board of the Athletics Federation of Nigeria amidst crisis that took place in Abuja on Monday, the Director General of the NSC, Bukola Olopade, has held a reconciliatory meeting with the association and the principal contestants in the pools. Fatima Yusuf, and the veteran sports journalist Nneka Nibweze to iron out grey areas that must have arisen from the outcome of the elections. And finally, the Nigerian national rugby team, the Stallions, won in Pool B alongside South Africa, Burkina Faso, and Zambia ahead of the 2025 Rugby Africa's Men's Sevens tournament, taking place from June 21st to 22nd in Mauritius. Nigeria will compete alongside 11 of Africa's top rugby sevens nations. The winner of the tournament will earn a spot in the 2025 World Rugby Sevens Challenger Series. With sports updates, Ijoma Pitawante, NTA News.
And that's nationwide. I'd like to thank you for watching. I'm Ayo Deji. Makinde for Nobos here in Abuja. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye-bye.